Right, Shalom, welcome back to another lesson, giving all glory and praise and honor that's due to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rachak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, peace, mercy, and grace to the household of faith, the elect. This is going to be a part 2 to the 3 precepts, dealing with the clouds being the chariots, the vehicles of our salvation. And I had some more that came to mind, so I just want to do a part 2, and just going into more precepts, because you see the clouds are being used over and over in the scriptures. And I'm just going to start with this one, which is Revelation, the first chapter, verse 7. It says, "Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen." All right, Yahweh Shai, the Son, the only begotten Son of the Most High, is who's coming with those clouds, which this precepts with what he out of his own mouth prophesied in Matthew the 24th chapter, that he's going to come with the clouds of heaven and in great glory. Which if we cross-reference that, I'm sure that'll come up. But I used that precept in the previous video. Yeah, Matthew 24:30, "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory." Matthew 26:64, "Yahweh saith unto him, Thou hast said, nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power, and coming in the clouds of heaven." Okay. Isaiah 19:1, "The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it." Daniel 7:13, "I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him." So even Daniel had the vision of Yahweh Shai coming with the clouds of the chariots of Israel, the holy host. Revelation 14:14 through 16, "And I looked, and behold, a white cloud. And behold, the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud." The Lord coming on a chariot, boy. It says, "Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap. For the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped." Yep. So multiple precepts showing you that the clouds, the chariots, are synonymous. They're going to be a very pivotal part in our salvation. Like I mentioned in the last video, you had the chariot, which was also described as a cloud that was leading us out of Egypt. Right. 1 Thessalonians 4:17, "Then we which are alive and remain," right, after all the Jacob's trouble and the devil coming down with great wrath, and the beheading of those that didn't take the chip, etc. It says, "Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds." Who? With our brothers and sisters that have been taken up, that have been beamed up in the chariots. Because when you read Matthew 24 and 31, it's not listed, but it says how he shall give his angels a charge to go gather the elect, and they're going to be getting caught up. So we which were alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, in the chariots. See, caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. So we're going to get caught up in chariots. That's the salvation. And I got one more precept going into it too. Let's get Isaiah 26 and 20. It says, "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed." The indignation, which is the Lord's anger, all right, is going to be when he throws down Babylon with great violence. All right, when this place gets destroyed utterly and is burnt up, the only way to survive it is going to be to get called up, so you don't get caught in the burn, because it's going to get melted. And it's going to be very, very hot. That's what the day of the Lord is. It's heat. It's a consuming fire that's going to consume this place. Verse 21, "For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity." The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain. Yep, so that's why he's going to call the elect up, because their iniquities are going the iniquities of this place is reaching into the heavens. Revelation 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people," which her is Babylon the Great. She's known as the whore that rideth the beast. She's likened to a fine woman that John, the Apostle John, marveled at. It says that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. The plagues, ultimate plague is the plague of fire. Zechariah 14:12 talks about that. Verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. So because her sins reach into heaven, and the Most High, who is the judge, is going to look upon her iniquities, he's going to have to call up, his chosen fruit, the elect, because he's coming to punish the inhabitants of the earth for the iniquity. So, and what are chambers? Let's look up a chamber, because again, these chariots are vehicles. Just like on earth, you have earthly chariots, you have heavenly chariots too. Chamber. A judge's room for hearing cases not taken in open court. A suite of rooms, apartments. Chamber. A room. Yep. Thesaurus, apartment, bedroom, box, cell, a room. Bed chamber. Goddamn ads. Bed chamber is a chamber, cubicle. Yeah. And let's see what this say in another version. NLT, go home, my people, and lock your doors. Hide yourselves for a little while until the Lord's anger has passed. See, but when this thing happen, it ain't going to be no hiding on the earth, on ground. It ain't going to be no hiding. That's why the elite's going to be hiding underground with plans of escape and everything. But that was pretty much it. I just wanted to hit those precepts. I got one more that just came to mind. 1 Corinthians 10 chapter. It says, avoid Israel's mistakes. 1 Corinthians 10:1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea. They were under the chariot. The chariot was directing them, right? And were all baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock, capital R, that followed them, and that rock was Christ, Mashiach, the anointed, Yahushua. But with many of them God was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. So let's cross-reference that, because I think that's in Numbers and in Exodus 2, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Exodus 13:21. And the Lord went before them by day in the pillar of the cloud to lead them the way, and by night in the pillar of a fire to give them light to go by day and night. Exodus 14:19 says, the angel of God which went before the camp of Israel removed and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. 20. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night, so that the one came not near the other all the night. Exodus 40:34. Then a cloud covered the tent of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Chariots, boy. Numbers 9:15. It's a long one here. I ain't gonna read it all. And in the day that the tabernacle was reared up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, namely the tent of the testimony, and at even there was upon the tabernacles, as it were, the appearance of fire until the morning. So it was always the cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. And yeah, cause literal clouds can be disguised as chariots. You could look up and you think you're looking at a cloud, and it could be just a chariot. But like Paul said, things are spiritually discerned. So in the spirit, you can discern and say, okay, we know sometimes that these ain't just these little things of vapor above us about to rain down on us. Sometimes they literally look like, okay, that's a vehicle right there. That don't look like just no regular cloud. It says, and when the cloud was taken up from the tabernacle, then after that, the children of Israel journeyed, and in the place where the cloud abode, and probably back then, they probably had much clearer skies too. So you can imagine when clouds would appear, it was probably different. Earth probably looked a lot different back then, I'm assuming. You didn't have as many people, as much pollution and shit. But I ain't gonna read the rest of that. Psalm 78:14. In the daytime also he led them with a cloud, and all the night with a light of fire. Just going into the history. And all passed through the sea. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Because literally we did pass through the sea because he divided the sea. Moses did. So yeah. So Paul going into the history of our fathers, showing you that he's speaking to Israelites, because when you think about the church of Corinth, people will say, well, those were Gentiles, those were non-Israelites. No, they were Israelites. Because why would he say our fathers? Why would he lump them into his story, his heritage, his history? Right? I'm gonna read that again, and that's it. 1 Corinthians 10:1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that you should be ignorant. Right? Don't be ignorant. Let's come up on a level. How that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Mashah in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahushua. So, yep, just wanted to add on to more precepts dealing with the clouds and the chariots. And that's going to be it, man. Prayer was edifying. Shalom.